Does being a top player mean anything in the FGC these days? Today we're going to be talking about how I believe that many top players, if they were to focus more on content, that would be a lot better than them going to tournaments, because it seems like sponsorships do not care if you place high, which should be the overarching factor of getting sponsored, is you perform well and you're like a nice guy, which makes sense on why I'm not sponsored. Badoom, dink, right? Gotta take a little jab at myself, right? So today we're gonna be talking about several people who I believe should be sponsored within their respective scene, and as well as several people who were sponsored, however, transitioned to more content creation, and that seems to maybe be the way, and not really focusing so much on traveling or tournament matches and just bumping that YouTube algorithm, and or trying to, trying to do just subathons every 3 months. So, of course, like the video, please subscribe, comment down below, and leave a like, comment down below who you think should be sponsored. Now, this video is not about who I don't think should be sponsored. I'm not saying this video is X person is sponsored when Y person should be sponsored. No. You're not getting me in that. You're not. I'm gonna type that away real quick. Anybody who is already sponsored, I do not know why they are sponsored. I'm sure they had their own thing behind the scenes on why they are sponsored. I'm not taking away anybody's sponsorships, nor am I saying they shouldn't be sponsored. What I am saying, though, is that if I were to go on Twitter right now and say, hey guys, I just got sponsored, insert X name, you would probably be like, who the fuck is Arroyo? Why is he sponsored? And why is IDOM not? That is what I'm talking about today. I do not understand how I can go on Twitter and see certain people that are performing very well, and these are also people who happen to be very fucking nice, very quiet, very in their own bubble, don't really cause drama, maybe a little arguments here and there, but we're all human, nothing too crazy, nothing cancelable, right? IDOM is a Capcom Cup champion. He's a Capcom Cup qualifier. He performs high constantly, not sponsored. Zane FGC, who I talked to Zane, right? I knew Zane during the Dragon Ball days. I watched his come up. I was like a proud, cousin. I watched his come up. He inspired me to even play better. When Guilty Gear Strive came out, he was doing amazing things in Chip. I'm not glazing, I promise. Then he went to Grand Blue Star, winning some tournaments. Once again, performing very high within FGC tournaments. Very nice guy, not sponsored. Cody Schwab. Now we're getting into the platform fires, the Smash Brothers, right? We have the Capcom, then we have the anime, and now we have the Smash with the platform. Cody, look at this. First place Genesis, first place Egg Dog, first place Battle of the Six, second place Tipped Off 15. You guys can't see it. His Super Smash Brother rank is 2. He's the second best, probably behind like Mango or some shit, right? Or Zane or whoever the hell like the best Melee player is. 2, not sponsored. Why are the best people of these games not getting sponsored? The crazy part as well is that if you look at other esports, if you perform very highly, you get so much clout. It's not even funny. It's actually like not even funny how much clout you get. If you are Immortal, or not Immortal, Radiant and Valorant, right? Back in the day, if you were Predator and Apex, Call of Duty players, who else? League of Legends players, right? If you're high ranks in these games, you get so much clout. And you're just ranked high. Like, you're not, like, these people aren't competing in tournaments. They're just playing high ranked and ranked mode. The people I'm listing are going to the tournaments to fight the best on the best specifically, and still coming on top. Cody's not just going online and loading up Smash Brothers Melee ranked, which I think there might be. And then that's it. Zane isn't just booting up Grand Blue ranked. He's going to tournaments and winning, not sponsored. IDOM is winning and ranked. He's not like, IDOM's not ranked 1 legend. He might not even be legend. He might just be practicing for a Capcom Cup, right? Like, MR matters to non-competitors, and slightly matters to competitors, but real competitors don't really care about MR. That's why Mena RD, if you're following from the Street Fighter side, Mena RD was winning tournaments. He had a Diamond 1 Blanca in rank because all he was doing was room matches, right? Rank doesn't matter. Results do in the sense of esports. And yet somehow these three individuals who have results are not sponsored. Let's take a look at another individual who, right now, in my opinion, is carrying, besides for obviously Maximilian Dude and Sajam, is carrying the FGC mostly on the Capcom side, is Brian F. Now, granted, Brian F. did get so much clout that he did play Guilty Gear Strive on the Switch, which I believe Brian F. should have declined. Personally, I believe, now, I understand, you gotta get that money, you gotta get that check. There are other people in those games who play it and try to help the community out. And because I know it's called the FGC, but we are very, there is a lot of cliques, 2D fighters, 3D fighters, platform fighters, and then the 2D, then you go into, KOF, Street Fighter, so on and so forth. Right, Brian F. did take a deal to play the Nintendo Switch Strive. I do believe it should have went to like Kizzy K or some of the other Strivers out there. But nonetheless, that's not for me to decide. That's his bag. Let me not pocket watch. Brian F., though, amazing content creator. Was sponsored a couple of times. Things didn't work out with those sponsorships. Companies went down. But Brian F. continues to just pump out algorithm after algorithm of videos, which is really amazing. Brian F. continuing with the FGC. The next person, though, is a little bit heartfelt. This is somebody who I feel like put so much time and respect into the FGC to the point where I think they might not be coming back. Hook Gang God. He might be one of the most funniest, meanest, sarcastic, straightforward, mean people. But at the end of the day, this man put his heart, blood, sweat, tears, my voice cracked. That's how, that's how emotional I'm getting. His cum, everything into Dragon Ball FighterZ and hoping that that game succeeds. You could boot up Prime Hook Gang God, right, and watch him in just the lab for hours trying out a new setup with Broly or Base Vegeta or Cooler or Janemba. He played majority of the cast. He learned all of the strats. And I feel like we really turned a blind eye on Hook Gang God. Maybe Dragon Ball FighterZ was his best game. Maybe no other game can compare to that. I hope we see a revival of him with Fatal Fury or 2XKO, because I feel like Hook brings something to the table, right? He brings that bad boy energy, right? Top 8. My dog can make top 8 or top 32 or the hell it was. Ah! You all know the beat, right? So I feel like Hook Gang God is another player that, because of the way sponsorships in the FGC work, Hook Gang God probably missed out on so many different promotional aspects, right? When you get high-level Fortnite players, high-level Valorant players, what do you see right now? What do you see out of the high-level Fortnite, high-level Valorant players? They're all playing Overwatch. Or not Overwatch. They're all playing Marvel Rivals with the devs early. No FGC person is playing any builds of Marvel Rivals early, no matter who you are. Now, there are events Marvel Rivals holds, and luckily Sajam is able to sneak himself in there, right? You need to be the top 1 of 1 in order to be within these Marvel Rivals games, while the fact you have Valorant, League of Legends players, CSGO, Overwatch. Overwatch makes the most sense, realistically. Taking up majority of these brackets. Got Call of Duty players in there, right? But no, I feel like FGC really gets left behind when it comes to the big boy sponsors and the big boy collabs. If FaZe, right, SSG, all these other big name companies started picking up FGC players, I think that would be a huge turn for the FGC. But as of right now, I really feel like sponsorships are lacking. No matter what you do, right? Why do I want to enter an online tournament and try my hardest and win, and then I'll walk away with $8 in the match arena? When maybe I could be like, okay, how can I make content for Street Fighter 6 and then make $9 instead of sweating my ass off? I can sit here, do multiple takes of this video, hope I get some likes and some comments. And if I don't, then I just make another video and maybe I'll get $9 there. It takes, you know, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's no real reward for a lot of these players, unfortunately, to grind the FGC and maybe get up there. Now, IDOM, you know, Cody, Zane, they're already up there, so it makes sense to stay there, right? If you're already up there, might as well stay there. But for the lower bracket, it doesn't make sense to grind, because I look at this, I see a Capcom qualifier, Capcom Cup champion, a Capcom Cup qualifier, 24,000. We go to 10s. Is this him? I go to a shooter guy, 1.4 million people. 1.4 million people. Sponsored by Sentinels. Even has a little funny badge next to it. There's no shot against 10s. We're telling me IDOM can't get a single sponsorship. I don't like this. I don't like this. I think it's weird. Personally, I do think it's weird. I think Red Bull is the only one stepping up and really expanding the amount of people that they're picking up, which is nice. It's cool to have a company like Red Bull doing that. Same with like Liquid, Moist, right? You know, so hopefully some of these players do get sponsored. Tell me what you think down below. Who do you think should be sponsored? Remember, if you think somebody shouldn't be sponsored, or if you think that I'm talking about you that you shouldn't be sponsored, that's a you thing. I did not say anybody's name, nor did I even hit towards anybody, okay? A lot of you motherfuckers like to start drama with my name sometimes, and even though I don't really say anything that bad, please don't do it this time. I'm not saying anybody. I'm not saying anybody, and I'm not saying who should have a sponsor. But if you think that you should have a sponsor, or you think somebody should have a sponsor, that's between you and them, not me. I'm talking about the 5 people I talked about specifically. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see y'all again next time. See ya.